What's up, guys? So I'm about to head upstate right now, and I'm going up to my hunt club property. So the back of the property is power lines that we actually own, and we own a certain portion of it, and the neighbors own, the next following sections. And I have permission from all the neighbors to do some shooting back there. So we're going to have to do some long-range ballistics gel and do some 300-yard shots. But something I also want to do is kind of an accuracy challenge and challenge myself. If you guys watch Backfire TV, you know that he did a challenge, and it was I think the original one was that he doesn't believe anybody could make 100% of shots out to 600 yards with a hunting rifle. And I probably agree with him that that's very hard to do. Most people can't do that. And then after that, he did a few more, like, can you shoot an MOA group? And a lot of people can't. They say my gun shoots half MOA, and they get out there and they shoot a 4-inch group. So I'm going to go out there today. I'm just going to set up some targets at random ranges, and we're going to see what happens. Now, his thing was, hunting rifles, but at the moment, I don't have any hunting rifles that I'm like fully confident in my loads with. My 7 Rem Mag would be the one I would go to, but since I just started loading for that, I don't have a lot of good loads yet. Don't have a lot of time behind the trigger of that gun either, so I'm not super comfortable. But what I am comfortable with is this guy. This is my Savage 110 Stealth Evolution. This is a 300 Win Mag. So this gun weighs 14 pounds. It is certainly heavy, but it's not like a custom precision gun by any means. I mean, it's just a stock rifle with a Nikon scope on it. Only thing I changed is a bolt handle. So this gun shoots awesome, and I have a lot of time behind this gun shooting out to 1,000 yards. Probably my most accurate rifle and the most repeatably accurate rifle, because I set the zero stop on this scope probably 2 years ago shooting the 212 ELDX, and I haven't touched it since. So it's been shooting the same. If my groups open up, I'll clean it. So since hunting season, I believe I did clean it because I did use this for hunting. Here in New York, most of my shots are close range, so I hunt with my 6.8 SPC. But when I go to the North Carolina, I'm hunting in big food plot fields, and all the hikes to the stands are close. Well, no, I shouldn't say close, I mean flat. You could walk a half a mile or 3/4 of a mile, but it's a flat dirt road. So lugging this thing around really isn't that bad. 14 pounds on your shoulder when you're walking flat isn't that bad. If you have to take a shot offhand because you jump a deer walking in, that's a little bit different, which actually happened to me last year. Luckily, I always bring shooting sticks with me, so I popped my backpack off, got in the shooting sticks, and was able to shoot the deer before, ran out of the field. So either way, I'm going to go out, set up some, targets at just random ranges. I also just picked up a SIG rangefinder. It's the Kilo 3 rangefinder. I would show it to you, but it's out of my car. That one has the ballistic holdovers in the rangefinder, so when you range your target, it will tell you, 0.3 mils up, whatever it is. So you're not looking at your charts, which should make hunting a little bit easier. The only thing it has temperature, humidity, and pressure in it. The only thing it doesn't do is read wind, and I suck at reading wind. So normally I would say my cutoff for hunting is probably 500 yards if there's no wind. Also depends on the rest. I did learn the hard way down in North Carolina. You're resting, you have a box blind, so you got your gun resting on the front of the blind here, but now you're supporting the whole back of the gun. So when you're kind of scanning the field, you feel, oh man, I feel pretty stable. But then a deer gets in front of you, and all of a sudden you start to shake a little bit. It's like, I'm not that stable. So I would use my shooting sticks under the rear of the gun, so I would have 2 points of contact. So today I'm probably going to shoot off of my ATV. It's either that or lay prone, and laying prone is not really a realistic hunting scenario, so I'll find a way to shoot off the ATV, and I'm going to see how I do. Hopefully, I'm as accurate as I think I am, but we'll find out. I haven't touched this gun since hunting season, so I'm just going to go out and shoot it, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm going to be shooting off the front of the quad like this. So the first target, 320. This is calling for 0.6 MRAD. So I'm going to do half a mil, and we'll see where I hit. I can't spot the impact through my scope, so I don't really know. Alright, the second target out. 435 yards, 1.3 MRAD. I can tell I have a tailwind coming from behind me, so I'm not holding for wind. I also suck at gauging wind, so I could be screwing that up. I don't know. This gun also has not been fired or cleaned since hunting season. I just hunted with it, put it away. Today's the first time I took it out. So let's go for that final target, see what it says for that. So I keep getting 594, which is calling for 2.5 MRAD. So 2.5 MRAD. Take a shot, and then we'll go check the targets. Not a lot of heat mirage today. It's definitely a blurry image through the scope. Now this target's actually a deer target, and it's almost hard to see the deer. And I almost forgot the dial. All right, let's see. All right, let's go check the targets and see how I did. All right, guys, so here's our first target, 330 yards. But it looks like I was just to the left. Now this is a 3-inch sticker, so if you're aiming dead center, it's 1.5 inches to the edge. This is probably another 2 inches or so, so I'd have to say I'm maybe 4 inches over, so this would still be a dead deer, still within the vitals. But if I'm this far over at 330, I'm sure as I go further out to the next target, it's going to continue walking over, unless this was just me, but let's find out. All right, second target, 430 yards. So this one I actually hit to the right. Again, this would still be a dead deer. We're probably 4 inches to the right of where I was aiming, so you're definitely close to the edge of the vitals, but a deer typically has a 10-inch vital zone, so I would still be good here. So as you can see, I mean, I was shooting from the top of that hill, so definitely far. Curious to see how I did on the 590-yard target. All right, guys, so here's that last target. If this is a deer, I would have shot it right in the ass. You know, aiming here, I'm a good 10 inches to the right. So what I thought was a tailwind was probably coming slightly from the left. I don't have a wind meter, so I can't really read the wind too well. So this, you know, is almost 600 yards, 590. We're pretty much at 600, which is past my comfortability range anyway, because I'm not good at reading wind, so you never really know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to take one more shot at each target and just see what can I do with the second shot. Is it the same results? Did things change? Because practice makes perfect. So I'm going to take some more shots and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, so this is the 430-yard target. I ended up taking 2 shots at this one because the 600-yard one fell down. And I wasn't really comfortable shooting that far anyway, at least for a hunting scenario. So here was my first shot. These were the next 2. So obviously both of these would be kill shots. We're in the vitals of a deer right here. I would like a tighter group, yes, but the way I was shooting, just leaning on the front of the quad, pretty stable, but I mean, my reticle was drifting all around this. So not super surprised. There's a ton of flies and mosquitoes out here. It's hot. I was sweating in my eyes, but you know, in a hunting scenario, you're never going to be 100% comfortable. So this definitely, you know, is a good way to push your boundaries. And plus, if you have a deer in front of you, your heart's going to be racing. So I did take one more shot at the 330-yard target back that way. So let's go take a look at that one. All right, so here's the 330-yard target. First shot was here, second shot's here. So this will definitely be another kill shot. At this distance, honestly, I figured I'd have them all in the sticker. So is it me? Is it the gun? Like I said, I haven't touched it since hunting season. Maybe it just needs a cleaning. I don't know if it got wet or anything while I was hunting. But it's hot, there's a ton of bugs, and I'm definitely uncomfortable, but this is good practice, shooting on a weird kind of position. If I was laying prone with a bipod and a sandbag, I'm sure I could have stacked them in here, but that's not how I hunt. I don't know anywhere I could really hunt laying prone, so, I'm going to clean the gun. I'll come back out here in a few weeks. I'll try this again, and maybe the results will be better, but who knows. Anyway. Alright guys, so now that I'm home, out of the sun and away from the bugs, my thoughts on the accuracy challenge. So I just have the one target here. This is the 430 yard target. So I just measured this 6 inches and 3/4, so 6 3/4 inches, which is 435 yards, works out to 1.5 MOA. So certainly not that bad. I mean, that gun is capable of sub MOA, but that's off a bench with a bipod, rear sandbag, when I'm in perfect, working conditions. So minute and a half at that distance, just shooting off the front of the ATV, really not that bad. And you can't always expect, if you could shoot a minute at 100, when you get out to 400 or 500 yards, you're gonna open up. Like, it's hard to hold a minute all the way out there, unless you're a professional shooter, which I am not. I'm just a self-taught shooter. I go out and shoot. I like guns and ammo, so that's what I like to do. So I thought I would do better, honestly, but I wouldn't say I humbled myself, because I did. My cutoff is normally 500 yards, and 430 I got a dead deer. Past that, obviously not that good, but I only took one shot at that target, so obviously one shot's what you would take in a hunting scenario. Next time, will that first shot be good? Maybe. I don't really know. So I'm going to do this challenge again. Hopefully I can get the 7 Rem Mag all sighted in with some ammo. I just picked up a few hundred 162 ELDXs. So if I can get a nice good load with those, next time I'll do that. I'm going to do it with the 300 again. I think maybe next time I'll do some groups prone off a bipod to compare it to shooting off the ATV. I felt super stable. The way I had the gun rested on there felt super stable, but then you get behind the scope and it's definitely dancing around a little bit. So I don't know if it's just the way I was hunched over. Like, if I was sitting on a chair, I feel like I would have been a little bit more steady than being bent over, leaning on the quad. But it is what it is. So, like always, guys, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.